final but not least, I went to have a chat with Tulsen. Tulsen was very helpful. Actually, it was Adam from BBC production that forwarded my email to Tulsen. I was very lucky. Couldn't meet Tulsen either because Tulsen lives in Manchester and he also works in the BBC in Manchester. Tulsen is a TV news presenter. He works for the BBC Sport and he presents the news sport every day. So Tulsen was very lucky as well because Tulsen started as a rugby league player. And how interesting that he ended up being a TV presenter after. So let's find out what Tulsen has to say to us.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? So let's get started. I have a couple of questions already ready for you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So you started your career as a professional rugby player, professional league rugby player. And as far as I know, you're very successful in your career until you retired. Why did you choose, or what happened for you to choose TV as your next career?
I didn't actually choose TV originally. I was actually in radio. Although I was doing TV more from a pundit point of view from rugby when I first started out, and I was doing it when I was still playing. And then I had the opportunity, the BBC started up a station called 5 Live Sports Extra.
As Melvin, Tulsen started his career in radio. What does that tell us? That tells us that maybe radio is the way to go. Maybe radio is the path that we want to take first, or try to get into first, to reach TV. So obviously you were already a familiar face in TV because you were a successful rugby player. Do you think that helped you get into the industry then? Because as you said, you had some networking going on, so you knew some people in the area. How did you do that? What kind of network did you do?
I always find, one of my last friends said to me that I'm the best networker she knows. I'm not a networker in such. I treat people like I would expect to be treated. So when I talk to people, I don't just speak about myself, as a lot of people in this industry do. I ask people questions about themselves, and you'd be surprised when you talk to people and ask them questions about themselves, how interlinked people, not just in this industry are, but in life in general. So if I'm ever at a do and I'm speaking to someone who's got nothing to do with TV or radio or whatever else, you'll then find out they're actually chatting with this person who knows this person. And I always find that this industry is known for people not being exactly nice people at times. Mm-hmm. But I always find that if you hold yourself in a decent manner and you talk to people as you would expect to be spoken to yourself, you become a networker without actually becoming a networker. So it's important. That's the most important industry part in this industry, I should say, is that to make sure that you network, but to network without actually feeling like you're doing it.
Tulsen was considered one of the best networkers. And why is that? Well, in our case, it's a little more difficult because we're still at the university. We do not have a career like he had as a rugby league player. So it was a little bit easier for him to get to know new people. But he says that the secret for networking is just get to know the person, just talk to them like you would like to be talked to. Just basically make a new friend. Yes, definitely we should try networking, try our hardest to go to some events, to some fairs in London. There is so many happening, especially with the summer coming.
You might be looking at a presenter job. Not all presenting jobs are advertised in a lot of places. You have to be in there, or you have an agent who puts you in there, or if the people are that way inclined. But a lot of positions that people get into, especially through the BBC, I know people who started out at the bottom level being a broadcast assistant and working their way up to being an assistant producer, doing VTs and packages and so forth, and then learning how to voice. And then they get the opportunity to move further along into a presenting opportunity if it comes along at just the right time.
Obviously, you had
you were in the right place at the right time, let's just say, with your networking.
Yeah.
But and you were lucky that you were obviously a familiar face as well. So how would you advise people, for example, like me, that are a student and obviously we're not around the environment yet, so we don't really know a lot of people that actually are in the industry. What do you think would be the best place for us to start some networking and to meet some people and to try and get in?
For me, my biggest advice is to look at regional stations and to put yourself forward, and even if it means that there's jobs that are advertised on a lower level, sometimes you have to do that to get yourself to where you want to get eventually. So the networking side of things comes from being in a position to actually see people. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind, as they say. So you have to be in people's line of vision to actually be in a position to show them what you can actually do.
Is it approachable, the idea of getting an internship in BBC, for example, or other?
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think, what I recommend for you personally is I look at I look at BBC World Service, because you speak another language, and which obviously helps. Is Portuguese your only other language besides English?
Yeah, it's Portuguese.
You probably understand Spanish as well, so
Yes.
So there's crossovers there. So I think the World Service, for example, would be something that might be worth looking into from your point of view, because you've got something different, and you speak another language, which is always a very good thing to have in an English-speaking culture, because many people only speak English, so you give them another option. So it's things like that. It's things like that you need to be playing, putting in people's line of sight, getting them to understand that you do have another language and you speak perfect English. So you understand, and you could be someone who can go to Portugal as an issue, or then you can go to Brazil, which is obviously a different type of Portuguese, but you can understand. So you give themselves positives. So I think internships are great, but it's always making sure that you're looking at other things and having ideas in your head that you can push forward if something comes along. So
very good tip from Tulsa now. So because us concentrating on foreign students now, as they speak another language, they have a different culture, different background, maybe we can use that as a favor to get into TV or radio in this case. So Tulsen mentioned BBC Discover. It's one thing to try, and I'll definitely apply to it. Definitely you foreign students should as well, or not even foreign students, maybe people that just speak another language, that learn another language at school. Because I know here we learn French, German, so if that's the way to go, we absolutely need to try this.
That's probably the best thing I would say to do is look at that, but also don't wait until you're finished your degree. Start looking at things now,
Okay.
putting yourself ahead of the game, even if it means like speaking to local radio stations, BBC wise or wherever it may be that's local to you, and putting yourself and saying, look, I'm graduating in this time. I'm now looking ahead, because if you wait until the end, all the other students are waiting until the end as well.
Exactly.
So if you put yourself ahead of them, and all of a sudden, instead of them getting all these other people coming in, you're already speaking to them from a future point of view.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, for your help. It's very much appreciated. You gave me everything that I needed to know. Even more, actually. I'll definitely be in contact later on, and I'll let you know how all my videos went through, how my special project did. Hopefully good. They'll give me a very good grade. But thank you very much for your help. It was very essential.